Hello and welcome back to Living Not Existing. As always, I'm Josh, and well, there's no Matthew here today because this is the start of a new little mini-series type sort of thing, shall we say, and it's on my van, which we were obviously mentioned a couple of episodes or so back now, just before Christmas. I think we first mentioned about it. Well, not first, obviously, we've said on the description since the start, but we've obviously mentioned about the fact that I finally got a van and going to be getting it sorted out. So here's the introduction and the story so far with my van. So obviously I'm sat in it now, but suppose I might as well jump straight into it and show you it. Right, so here it is, my van. It's a 1997 VW T4. It's a 1.9 turbo diesel. But yeah, so basically just the things that have been done to it before I got it, and then things that I've done. Obviously, just the whole point of showing you all this is so far when I first got it, one of the first jobs that was done was things to get it ready for MOT, because it was an MOT failure, and it had quite a few different advisories and a couple of fails and stuff like that. But then fixed all of them, got it all sorted out. And one of the things was like some of the suspension. So in order to fix it, I thought, well, it might as well be fixed correctly. And rather than having it sky high, but it slammed down as much as it can be slammed without it being totally horrible for the actual ride. Because this one is a bit jiggly joggly, it's alright. So on the T4 for lowering it, and chopped back rack springs and everything, and then lowered the front torsion bars as well, which is pretty cool with the fact the way the suspension works on the T4, the torsion bars. You don't actually have to change anything out for lowering the front suspension, and like the back, which you change your springs out and stuff like that. But the front, you just wind down a nut, and basically it alters the height of the way the torsion bar suspension works and everything, and just makes it so you can have it lowered like that, and obviously not have much gap, and have it low at the ground, which is cool. Something else also done, same sort of time, was put these sidebars on. There's obviously one on the opposing side as well, and so that was another straightaway little modification sort of thing, tweak made to it to make it a bit better, as well as recently within the past sort of couple of months or so, with putting on these steel wheels, 17-inch steel wheels. Now they're not actually banded, but even though it sort of like looks like the actual depth of them, they're actually just completely standard steel wheels. I think they're off something like an Abnarock or something like that. I think it was. Can't remember now what they're actually off. But yeah, so that's that. Obviously you can see it's a little bit rusty and tatty around the edges, but I'm going to use that to my advantage, which you will see in a future video as the van build goes on. So yeah, so this is basically the van. Now, something that was annoying that happened when I first got the van was these windows. Now, the side windows, these were put in before I got the van. And something annoying is when you're chopping out windows for a van, so say that you can see on this back one, this sticker was already here by the way as well. But so like on here, what you would do is you cut out like the recess and cut out this sort of section here to then put your glass in. And what someone has done on the sides is they've got glass that's not proper T4 glass, and then it's not even like oversized to the extent where you get like the flush glass, which you see a lot of these days on vans. It's just completely wrong glass for the van. What they've done is they've actually cut further than the actual recess, and then just put this big rubber on to hold the window in, which has then made the windows a bit wobbly and they're not all the best. And then when it comes to the point, if I want to get proper windows for it, I'm now going to have to get a new sliding door to be able to put all this, because of the way they cut it as well, it's rusted even more. And then it's the same on the side of the panel, so I'm actually going to have to weld in another section to be able to actually give yourself the actual lip to be able to put in the normal window, which is a bit of an annoying feature of the van, but hey ho. But yeah, so that's that for outside really. I don't think I've changed any other exterior things to the van so far, barring that. But interior wise, there was already interior in it, some sort of very basic camping stuff, to which obviously I'm going to be changing up completely and redesigning and rebuilding the van, which you'll see again in future videos. But as for now, I'll show you the inside. So inside, as you can see, I've got fridge, which is just purely a gas fridge, and it works all right, but the problems are as well is you can't see, but under here, under the grill, because there's actually a grill there as well, under the grill is where the vent comes out for all like the CO2 and stuff like that, like basically all the way for the gas exhaust. so that's actually coming out into there, which makes it very dangerous for the van. I don't know why on earth the person's designed it like that. The vent should be going outside the van because of course it's producing carbon monoxide and very poisonous, whereas in this instance it's just pumping it straight in the van. So if you've got the fridge on overnight, you might wake up dead basically. So that's that with that. So as I was saying, the minute goes well, I've got a grill there, which actually under here, which just flips up and clips up like that. Got a dual hob burner and a sink as well. And then it's actually got, around here, it's even got a second bit that flips up, which is draining board as well. So it's got the full sink, draining board and dual hob with the grill set up at the moment, which I am probably going to change this out to a smaller version is what I'm thinking of doing, and changing the orientation as well, but that will be getting touched on more in the future. So that's that as far as the sink goes. I just thought I'll cast a bit more light on in here just so you can see as well. There's actually some lights already been installed, like that. So obviously just a little white LED strip light and this sort of spotlight thing which was in there, but it's a bit bright, so I've sort of ended up pulling it out and turning it a bit. So that's that like that. There's also a little shelf up here which was already there. There was this sort of cupboardy unit. Basically all this entire unit was already in. We've got a drawer over here which is just full of random stuff, and a good thing to have in your van is a carbon monoxide sensor, because obviously, as I was saying with the gas a minute ago, you don't want to be getting poisoned to death. So there's that. And I've got a cupboard as well which just stores all sorts of random stuff in at the moment, and I've just got like some bits and bobs for when I'm doing this van up and everything as well. They're sort of stored in there, just gradually keeping it all, just like accumulating bits is what I'm doing. So then once I've got them all, I can sort of then straight away bounce on and get all the van fully built, which is what I've been doing since I got the van in July, I think it was, July 2018, which obviously we now start at 2019. So yeah, so I've had it for a bit so far, but I've not really, like I say, done much. This bench was already here as well with these cushions, which is quite nice. It's quite comfortable, and it's got a little storage area underneath. It's only like a couple of inch wide really, so it's not that big. And then there is also on here, which you have to lift the cushion up annoyingly to get into. So there's also a storage area there, but it doesn't really open very easily, so it doesn't really very often get used, that one. But yeah, so that's that. As far as goes in here, oh, quickly as well, I've got some pegs for hanging things up just on here. These were already up here, but I quite like this idea, and I think I'm going to keep this when I'm coming to do my build. So it's just handy for obviously hanging coats up and stuff, and obviously going out on adventures, like we're going to be going out on adventures in the future. It'd be handy just to be able to have all the different types of coats there. Obviously, you know, some in raincoats and then just light jackets, depending on where we are, you know. So there's that. And then, last but not least, in here as well, I think there's something that I've done is headlining. I absolutely love it. That's something I got when I was in Mallorca earlier in the year, if anyone remembers. But I got that from a place called Inca, from the market in Inca, from Inca Market, and absolutely lovely piece of just lovely throw. So at the moment it's just like tacked up there at the moment, just with the little push pin things you get for putting on those cork boards. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be properly fitting it as a proper headlining and putting it up there and everything, but as of now it's just made it look a bit better and a bit more like my van, a bit of a feature to it. So yes, I've done that. And then if you look over this side as well, you'll see I've got compulsory portaloo. Now it's not the best. I'm probably going to be switching it out for a much better toilet in the future, because I had an absolute disaster happen a couple of months back. I was going to go and stay at someone's and thought I'll get a portaloo, because I didn't have one in here at the time beforehand. I thought I'll put the portaloo in the back and get it so obviously when I'm there, if I need the toilet in the middle of the night when I'm keeping in the back of the van, I've got a toilet. I headed all the way there, and at the time I didn't have it bungee corded in as I do now, and basically the whole thing split apart and it spilled everything all over the floor in the back of here, and it was absolutely disgusting, but luckily it's all tidied up now. And then obviously I've also got these couple of speakers here, which are just a set of household speakers, but they've wired straight into my stereo, which I changed out for a new, much more decent stereo, which I'll show you in a second. So they're just in for now, just so I had decent speakers, because the original front speakers were completely shot to bits. but I've just recently, within the past couple of weeks, just bodgily put some couple of better speakers in just for now, just for the time being, until I build all proper boxes for them. So there's that. Also, just a quick one. Just got these old curtains up. I'm going to be putting some proper like blind system in and everything, but for now, just when I've been kipping in it, I've just got some old curtains that I just pull up when I want it to kip in the van. But yeah, so that's that for inside of here. Anyway, oh no, it's not. If you can see these bolt holes here on the floor, there was, when I first got the van, there was a double seat here and a single seat there from where someone had an extra back seats, but I took them out straight away as soon as I got the van. So that's that. Then if you come around to the back, this van is actually it's got what's called an up and over tailgate, so it's kind of like your hatchback basically, and it's quite handy because if you were away camping and it starts raining, you've got an instant automatic awning, so you can just stand under here and say if you had your cooker at the back, something you could be cooking away, and you've obviously got protection from the rain coming down from above, and you can actually get some sort of sheets that can hang down from these as well and make it into a bit more of an even better sort of more awning type sort of thing. And something I was thinking about I might actually do when it comes to doing the build further is, I've seen before, installing a shower head here and then having it netted off so you can actually have a shower in your tailgate and use it like that. And you just got to try and squeeze your pipes through stuff like this. So that'll be a bit of a challenging thing in the future, but hopefully I'll be doing that and you'll get to see it. But as for in the back of it at the moment, all I've got it for is I've just got my seat stored in there, as well as my gas bottle, and the gas bottle obviously comes through here and connects up for being able to use the fridge and the hob and the grill and stuff like that. And then for the water, the way the water works is it's just a funny, if I can get it, basically just a pipe that gets dumped in to this container here, just another old curtain there, and then that just plugs into a little flap on the side of the bumper at the moment. Now when I do the build, I'll be putting as you can see, it's just a little port there. Now when I do the build, I'm going to be putting an onboard water tank on board it, so that obviously I won't have to have water outside, and if we're wild camping anywhere, just pull up and then there's water readily accessible there like that. So yeah, so that's that. And then of course you've got to have a toolkit, because when you've got an old vehicle like this, you never know what's going to happen. I've had a couple of things happen already in the time, so it's been handy to have that. And then it's actually got a tow bar as well, which is obviously handy if you ever need to tow a trailer. And I've got a caravan as well, which is where the curtains are from. So that's I've towed the caravan with this as well. But yeah, so that's that in the back of here anyway. As well as I have put on here, obviously there's the muck, but I put just a few stickers on here, just because you've got to. The LPG one was already there though, just safety for the hence of the gas. And then round here, in the front, just the last couple of things. Now, the front seats that were in here are just all the standard seats. As you can see all the way across there, the driver's seat actually has a hole in it, which obviously isn't very good that it's got a hole in it. But that'll be getting repaired at some point. And something else that's quite nice about the driver's seat is it's what's called a captain's seat. So it's got twin armrests, which is lovely when you're driving along the motorway and you can just sit there and cruise along with it. So there's that like that. A couple of things that I've added into the front of here so far is, of course, you've got to have the compulsory flower garland and that, and I've actually got the dash cam there as well, which will come in handy in the future. Should anything, touch wood, I mean, I haven't got any wood nearby, but touch wood, I mean, don't end up having a crash or something like that, but if something does happen, it's always better to be safe. So I've got that, as well as something the radio I was on about, which actually has a fold-out screen, which is something that I love about it, which has, which can plug into that, a reversing camera, it's got GPS, which is all set up on it, all sorts of stuff. To really, really top quality stereo. So that's that in here, I think. I don't think I've actually got any more things that I've changed. Oh, yes. One last thing, and if anyone does get a T4, massively, massively highly recommend this, because it just completely changes the van from something that's a bit of a pain to drive to something that's really lovely to drive is your gear stick extender. Now this is actually an angled one, which is even better. If you can manage to get it so it would stay around that way, it angles it back towards you, because if not, you've got you basically all the time you're just reaching over, hunching your back, and it's late for changing gear, whereas that just brings it that bit closer so you don't have to bend over to get to your gear stick, which is better. But unfortunately, mine, when it's fully tight, is kinked over, so I'm going to have to put a nut underneath it just to tighten it up so I can keep it in that position where I want it. But yeah, so that's that, and of course there's wires everywhere, but that's just for speakers that are going through. And then I have got, not wired in yet, partially wired in, but I've got a tiny little box subwoofer just to improve sound systems again. Well, that's it, I believe, for the T4. So yeah, I'll see you back inside in a minute. Right, well, I hope that all of you enjoyed watching that, and you're all as excited about my van build as I am. I'm absolutely over the moon, ecstatic about it. But yeah, so before the next video, I'm going to be collecting a few more supplies for sorting my van out and stuff, and having a bit more of a think about the design of it. I've already done a lot of thinking on the design, but I'll be showing you reasons why I've designed my van build the way I have done, as well as the stuff that I'm going to be doing to it as well, and I'll show you a few of the materials I've collected as well, because I've collected a few things, such as like the new flooring that's going to be going in, which I'm really excited about. So I'm looking forward to showing all you guys it. It's pretty spectacular, the flooring that I've got. So but yeah, so there's not really much else I can talk to you about today really to do with my van, because obviously I've shown you the whole thing, and well, yeah, nothing's really changed. So yeah, so that's it for it really, and yeah, so until next time, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, and remember to check out our Facebook link down below, because we're putting more and more updates on our Facebook now. There's been a couple of weeks recently on the normal side of things with the allotment and everything, where there's been a couple of weeks where we've not been able to get down there, purely for reasons such as snow, rain, and then one of them was the day after my birthday, which I had a big party, so we all know what I get like with partying sometimes. So yeah, so that one was written off as well. So we've not been there for a little bit, but we have still been updating on Facebook, as well as on Facebook. If any of you watched the planting of the unboxing and the planting of the bonsai tree, the Jerusalem pine, the Jerusalem pine tree, and the ghost chili seeds as well, with all them getting planted and unboxed and everything, they're all now starting to germinate through, which you'll be able to see on Facebook, which is where the updates have been for that. So but yeah, so until next time, I'm Josh as always, and it's been Living Not Existing. Bye.